Hey Storm Shielders, I'm meteorologist Jason Myers. What a day we had yesterday. Today is Wednesday, June 4th. Yesterday, very, very busy. Tornadoes, baseball-sized hail, and some very strong winds. Doesn't look like we had a derecho event, but we did have some strong winds and large hail. Take a look at all these storm reports. 12 tornado reports, mostly in Nebraska. It looks like we had a couple in Kansas and then one in Wyoming. It looks like we didn't see any really big tornadoes, but a few here and there. Wind was an issue, 163 wind reports all the way from the border of Wyoming and South Dakota all the way over to New York, Massachusetts. Hail reports, those are all the dots in green. A few of them in Montana, but we saw a lot in Nebraska and Iowa. And there were reports of baseball-sized, yes, baseball-sized hail in that part of the country yesterday. That same system is now moving to the east. In fact, right here it is when we throw up the radar. It is in Indiana and Illinois this morning. It is going to continue moving to the east, and that's kind of going to hoodoo our severe weather chances for this afternoon, because you'll notice the two hot spots right here in parts of the Midwest and the Mid-South, really from Missouri, Northeast Arkansas, all the way over to western West Virginia and as far south as Tennessee. And then another hot spot, though this isn't as hot, I should say, in the Central Plains from North Dakota all the way down to Oklahoma and the northern tip of the panhandle of Texas right there. Let's focus on the Midwest and the Mid-South. That's what we're going to see this afternoon, this evening. The threat for large hail. Kentucky, you're in the spotlight today. Northern Tennessee as well. It looks like southern Ohio, western West Virginia. And then for strong winds, a little bit larger area shaded in that darker shade of yellow. Nashville, Knoxville, Lexington, Cincinnati, Charleston, Pikeville. You guys are all at risk to see some strong damaging winds. Tornadoes, just a slight risk. It's about a 5% chance for Paducah, Kentucky, Lexington, Pikeville again. Looks like Nashville, you're just outside of that tornado risk. Cincinnati, just within the risk. And that's really what we're looking at for the Mid-South and the Midwest. This is just going to be an isolated risk, it looks like, out in the Central Plains. There's your hail threat, wind threat about the same thing, and tornado threat pretty minimal except for southwest Kansas right there. Taking a look at the models, this is where things get hairy for us. It's going to be a little tricky to see what happens this afternoon. We have these rain showers and thunderstorms left over from that big system that moved through Nebraska yesterday. It's working its way through the Hoosier State into the Buckeye State. Watch what happens as we put this into motion. Here we are in the morning hours, and as we head through the day, this rain kind of lingers into the late morning, and then by the afternoon, here's what we need to happen. This is the late afternoon, early evening. We need the sunshine to come out to really create a lot of instability for any severe weather to pop up. And you'll notice here we are late in the afternoon into the evening. We start to see a few storms popping up right along the Ohio River at the borders of Kentucky and Illinois, Kentucky and Indiana. And this is where we're going to see that development. But by this point, it's later in the day, so I don't know if there's going to be enough energy to really create those severe storms. I think we'll see some thunderstorms, but as far as becoming severe, that's where that's the million-dollar question for us today. Will we see enough instability for these storms to develop? And that's what I think is going to happen today. We'll see some thunderstorms, but will they become severe? That's a little bit trickier. Later in the evening, out in the Central Plains, we'll see storms popping up. I think as far as severe weather goes, these will be more isolated incidences. We're not going to see a big outbreak like we saw yesterday. This is what we saw yesterday. This is what you call an outbreak. Real focused area of severe weather, but isolated risk in the plains today. I think if we do see an outbreak, it will be in the Mid-South and parts of the Ohio Valley. That is to say, if we get enough sunshine in that part of the country. As for the Southwest, staying dry in that critical risk for fire sticks around in eastern Arizona and central New Mexico. Be safe today. We have that potential for some severe weather if the sunshine starts coming out early in the afternoon and could really get things firing up for us in the Midwest. The Central Plains, a smaller risk, but it's still there, so keep Storm Shield handy. It will alert you to the warnings where you are exactly and nowhere else, unless you put in different locations, and of course it will. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel. We'd really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.